A block of cheddar costs 3 times more in 2024 than it did in 2019. Here's what actually changed. It's not inflation alone. Something structural shifted in how cheese moves from pasture to your plate. To understand the price tag, you need to start where milk begins, on a dairy farm where a cow produces roughly 6 gallons per day. That milk has a shelf life of hours. It must be cooled, transported, and processed almost immediately. Any delay costs money. Any inefficiency costs money. So that's the first layer. Production timing is ruthless. But here's where it gets interesting. To turn milk into cheese, producers add cultures, enzymes, and salt. They age it for weeks or months. During that time, the product loses weight. Roughly 10 pounds of milk makes 1 pound of cheese. So when milk prices spike, cheesemakers feel it multiplied. A 20% jump in milk costs doesn't mean a 20% jump in cheese. It's compounded by the conversion loss. That's why dairy farmers' struggles ripple through the entire system. Then there's the processing itself. Modern cheese facilities are capital-intensive. Stainless steel vats, climate control, sanitation systems, labor costs, all of it is built into the final price. A small artisanal cheesemaker operates differently than an industrial producer. Their overhead per pound is higher. Their cheese costs more. But scale doesn't always mean cheaper, because transportation networks matter too. Cheese is traded globally. Wisconsin ships cheddar to Asia. New Zealand exports to Europe. When global demand surges, say China's middle class grows and wants more dairy, prices everywhere respond. Simultaneously, if drought hits a major dairy region, milk production drops and prices climb. These aren't local forces anymore. They're planetary. A weather event in New Zealand affects what you pay in Nebraska. Feed costs for dairy cattle fluctuate with grain prices, which fluctuate with energy prices, which fluctuate with geopolitics. Fuel costs for refrigerated transport rise and fall. Labor availability changes. Regulations around food safety tighten, requiring new infrastructure. Each variable adds layers to the cost structure. None of them are visible on the package. So when you see a price jump at the grocery store, you're not looking at a random number. You're seeing the intersection of milk production timelines, conversion losses, facility overhead, global supply curves, and a dozen input costs that shift weekly. The cheese aisle is a live readout of global dairy economics. That's why it costs what it does. Understanding these forces won't lower your bill, but it explains why your local cheesemaker charges differently than the supermarket brand, why prices spike in winter, and why the same block costs more some months than others. It's not randomness. It's machinery, economic machinery, working exactly as designed. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to uncover the economic forces hidden inside the products you buy every day. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.